So this is the trail. This is the trail coming down. We passed the Mount Rogers Summit Trail. Given the weather, I decided not to go up there. It's really misty and rainy. So I spent the night up at Thomas Knob Shelter. I'm a couple miles out of that, or maybe a mile and a half out of that. I had the good fortune Tom Sawyer, who stayed over another day in Marion. He caught up, so he stayed there last night. I think he's going to try and take a short day today. But one reason why I didn't feel bad about laying up at Thomas Knob was I can do a 28, I think it's like 26 to 28 miles to end in Damascus today. Like, I know my day, if I push it, my day will end in Damascus, which is great. I can get my mail, get a bite to eat, and dry out a little bit. That's why I didn't want to push on to Lost Mountain yesterday, because I didn't want to have to get up and be all wet and then, you know, still have basically the same thing, just a shorter day. I don't know. Do what I did, but it's not that cold. It's really wet. Tonight it's supposed to turn to snow, but it's a shame. It's a really nice. I really like Grayson Highlands in this area. The ponies are really neat, and it's got some great views. But sadly, came here in some bad weather. So it's like 9 a.m. Still got a lot of miles to do, but gonna end the day in Damascus and, you know, be within 3 miles of finishing Virginia. Woo. So leaving the Lewis Fork Wilderness. Got these trail registers everywhere. See who's signed in here. I'll check that in a second. Yeah. Still got a ways to go. So I'm just coming. I came down this hill here. And there's a bathroom, a privy here, and another trail register. And there was an interesting sign there, just explaining who, the guy that who Mount Rogers is named for. And it's the fellow who founded MIT, which I didn't know. But he's a geologist, and one of the I guess maybe one of the, best to say one of the founders of MIT. I'm not sure if there was only one founder of MIT, considering also MIT was part of MIT came from the Lowell Institute of Technology. So exactly how MIT was founded or started is probably, I don't know. Anyway, just an interesting thing that's who Mount Rogers is named after, and he was an eminent geologist of his time. And just talked a little bit about how Mount Rogers is a volcanic mountain, and a lot of the rock up there is rhyolite and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm not gonna even attempt to explain all that, but because I don't freaking understand it either. But some cool views here, and got a ways to go today, but it's about 40 degrees, so still got about 20 some odd miles to go. So made it in here to Lost Mountain Shelter. I can tell that Herc and/or Slim Jim stayed here last night. But anyway, great little spot, but you know, everything looks horrible when it's hail, and it is starting to we are starting to get some frozen rain, some hail coming down. I got about 14 or 15 miles into Damascus. Got another maybe 3 or 4, like maybe 4 hours of daylight. So I really gotta get moving. 3 or 4 hours of daylight. So I'll be doing a night hike in some cold temperatures. Luckily I got my hot hands. I got 6 miles to the next shelter, and there are a couple road crossings where I could bail out if it just gets really terrible, but how come I'm just gonna push it and try and get to Damascus, you know. Got a little bit more food. So now, I mean, if I move now, I could probably get to Damascus by like 7 or 8 tonight, which is fine by me. And we'll sort things out when we get there. So I just came to the intersection here with the Virginia Creeper Trail, which I guess was an old train line that ran through Virginia. Look at the person, I can't really tell. There was an old train line, so it's a trail that runs along basically the old locomotive grade. There's a big bridge here. It's like an old trestle bridge. It must have been for the railroad. Pretty cool. So I gotta keep moving, get to Damascus.